Well, MMA fighting here, speaking with Alex Morono here at the UFC 247 Media Day in Houston. Now, before we get into the actual fight, I was watching one of your old scrums at the Tampa card, and you said you were making that 3-hour drive. I think it was like from Dallas and to Houston and back. Are you still making that drive? Have you made the move yet?
Oh no, weekly. So I have a beautiful wife and an awesome family and a house and a gym in Houston, and so I'll drive to Dallas every Monday, train the first half of the week there, and then once our really hard sessions are done, I'll drive back home and take a day off, and then like tell my coaches like I did good here, I did bad here. We'll kind of drill and refine some stuff, and then I'm right back to Dallas. And so I do that for 6 to 8 weeks in camp, and then out of camp, so long as I'm healthy. Like when Jeff Neal was fighting Mike Perry, I made the drive up every Tuesday, down and back to train with him. And I'll tell you, my favorite day of martial arts in my life was I had to be Mike Perry for Jeff Neal. And then the next couple rounds, I had to be Anthony Pettis for Carlos Diego Ferreira. And just like to train with two guys who I'm friends with and training partners with and love to watch. And then to emulate the opponents that I've been watching forever was just such an awesome day and so much fun. So I'm really enjoying that drive.
So how's your super fence kick, the Anthony Pettis Showtime kick?
You know, I actually didn't throw that, but I was throwing some Superman punches off the wall and spinning stuff and all sorts of cool. So it was fun. I actually got to be free. Like Coach Safe was like, be free, do whatever you want with the striking, like move around, because he likes me to be tight and play our game plan. So I didn't have to do that for a couple rounds, which was fun, and enjoyed it. And Carlos Diego Ferreira just charged me down and took me down. He's a man, and it was a lot of fun.
So who is easier to emulate, Mike Perry or Anthony Pettis?
Honestly, Anthony Pettis. I had watched so much footage on Mike Perry, and after watching his Alex Oliveira fight, I was kind of afraid because I was like, Jeff is going to destroy me if I fight like this. And then I watched his fight against Vicente Luque. His jab count was a lot higher, and it was a little bit sharper. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to get beat up so bad. But yeah, Mike was a little different just because the way he fights is different. But Anthony Pettis like allowed some freedom and movement and stance changing. So I had like a little more comfortability doing that.
And what is the secret to this Fortis MMA rise? I mean, I asked Miles right here, and I was like, what is the secret sauce that, like, all of a sudden this gym has emerged? He said, we've always been here. You're all just noticing it now. So is his statement accurate? Like, you've been doing, nothing's changed. People are just tuning in now.
Yeah, you know what? I know they came up, I want to say, like, late 2017. And I thankfully had met Coach Safe just maybe 6 months after that. So I haven't been with him since the beginning, but I've spent about 2.5 years there now. And the training partners and the work ethic is otherworldly. But the main thing, in my opinion, having trained at a lot of different gyms, especially around Houston and owning my own gym, is our coach, Coach Safe. He just guides and leads us to a level I didn't know existed until I got to experience it, and to not go all in with Coach Safe and the team would have been a dire mistake. So I'm very happy with the decisions made, and very ready to like hold the flag when I fight and try to do some damage in the octagon.
Well, Miles said you guys kind of have a healthy rivalry amongst the gym over who's going to get the first belt on the wall. So who is there like a betting going on, like whoever wins the first belt, like everyone has to do like XYZ?
No, thankfully not. But my prediction is Jeff Neal. I mean, granted, I do most of my rounds with him, but he's unique in a way. Like his physical strength and his technique is otherworldly, but his attitude and his work ethic is crazy awesome. So he's ranked, I want to say, like 10th now. I see him making like a strong run this year and then fighting for the belt soon. And like my goal was to kind of like elevate behind him, and kind of like the Cain Velasquez, Daniel Cormier. Cain was the champ, so DC kind of fought around the top 10. That's what I would like to do.
Would you try to change weight classes if Jeff becomes champion?
No. So like for Jeff to be champ is a very attainable goal, because he's so much closer. And like where I'm at now, I'm a very like realistic goal setter. My goal now is to score 1 knockouts people haven't seen before. So expect some wild things if the opportunity presents itself. And 2, I at least need to like break into the rankings. So Coach had set a goal for myself to get top 15. So that's my first goal.
Now, your original opponent, Lima, fell out relatively recently, and you got this new opponent, Callan Williams. Was it more important to fight on this card in Houston? Like, did they ever offer you, like, oh, we can bump you to another card, you can fight Lima, or did you want to stay on this Texas card? I really wanted to stay on the card. Sean Shelby's the man. He made things happen and didn't even really tell me, like, hey, it may not happen. He was like, hey, your opponent's out, but sit tight. 48 hours is all he needed to make magic happen. But on my drive home from Dallas, was actually in that flux time, I had come to terms with myself. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to take, the wrong fight. And thankfully, nothing was
wrong was presented, but I was like, I may not fight on this card, and I was like okay with that. But then thankfully the next day, check my email every 10 minutes, and sure enough, Sean had hit me up, and I got a good opponent, a guy who's aggressive and will throw big punches and come forward and shoot. So I'm thinking it'll be a very physical, pretty wild fight.
Is there any less pressure fighting a short notice opponent? Like, you don't have to think about him as long. You don't have to go through like weeks and weeks of camp thinking about Lima. Now you just relative new opponent. Like a few days later, we fight.
You know, no, I never disliked or strayed away from pressure. I always felt like I did better when the pressure was on. I enjoy the challenge, and I fight in a cage, so you got to enjoy some sort of hardship. But no, I did a lot of research, and I mean a lot of research. So to my coaches on Lima, we were ready for that fight. You know, if everything goes according to plan, I would like to rebook that match. But if not, it's okay. But we also did the same amount of research on old Kalen Williams in the shorter amount of time. So I do think I know what to expect on Saturday.
And then one final question, not fight related. I'm gonna butcher their names, but the band that you gave the shout out to on your drive. Is that still on the circuit, or have you added anything?
Yeah, I mean, I listen to all sorts of different ranges of metal: melodic death metal, black metal, power metal. That's what I've been into a little more lately. But I actually got to go meet the guys backstage. I hit them up on Instagram, and their tour manager hit me back up, and I got to go watch the show in a VIP suite, which was cool. Complimented the band and went and hang out with them for like an hour backstage, and that was a dream come true. That was awesome.
Well, I had to ask because my cameraman right here is
Did you get to see the boat? Did you get a close to the boat?
No, they were starting to pack everything up, but I did get to meet the dudes, and he's actually a big MMA fan. Johan Hegg, the main guy, he's friends with Josh Barnett. He plays Thor and the Viking in all their videos. So he actually trains himself, and it was cool. I had just fought Max Griffin in Tampa, and I had a crazy highlight of the head kick and the knees and the spinning back fist, and Johan had actually seen that highlight before we had met, which blew my mind. It was so cool.
Well, thank you so much, and good luck on Saturday.
Thanks
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.